What's up, guys? I'm just going to do a quick video. It's a nice day out, so I figured I'd make a couple. I've had people ask me in the past what I do as far as paint goes or powder coat when I'm restoring a bike. So I figured this one would be a good one to show. I bought this bike a couple weeks ago from a kid. Told me, it just needs top end, just like every other two-stroke in the world. So I picked it up. I got a fairly decent deal on it, so I wasn't too upset. Get home and the crank is seized, and see, we had some leakage on the ignition cover, so it looks like it got brought up from the Titanic. You can see the carb doesn't look like it's been cleaned since, I don't know, 2001. So obviously it needed some work, so I just went ahead and torn it down. While I had it torn down, I went back with Colorrite frame paint. um, Now again, I'm not here to argue that paint is better than powder coat, because it's not. If you've got the time and the means, powder coat's the way to go. It's a lot more durable, not too terribly expensive depending on how you use. But this is a bike that's not going to get ridden a whole lot. It's more or less just going to be a garage decoration, and if my dad wants to go ride with us, then he's got something to hop on. So I wasn't really just too worried about durability, but I have used this on a dozen bikes in the past, and I've never had bad luck out of it. Now, I'm a terrible painter, so the fact that this looks even remotely good is a testament to how good this stuff is. I typically soak my cans in warm water for a few minutes before I go out there. On this one, to prep the frame, I sanded it down with a wire wheel, cleaned all that up, then went back with steel wool to kind of smooth it out. It claims to be a single stage paint. I don't trust that on anything, so I went ahead and used just an off-the-shelf primer and then hit it with the color. And then a couple days later came back with some high gloss clear. As you can see, I feel like it's a little bit darker than the original paint was, but it's a good match to the blue. I think it looks really good. I used one can on this because I didn't spend just a whole lot of time under the tank and under the seat area, because that's going to be covered up. I did hit it with a little bit. You can see where it was wore down, just to kind of cover it up so it wouldn't rust. But for the most part, I spent most of my time on the down arch here and then on the up tubes. I actually may end up just sanding the swing arm down back to metal, but who knows. So if you're going to do an entire frame, I would recommend two cans, because I used one on this and really could have used some more just for the area that I did. So if you're going to do an entire frame and you want it thick, which you should, I would recommend going with two cans. And then worst case scenario, you've got a little bit left over and you've got to touch up, for down the road. I'm still going to use frame tape here, just because for 30 bucks, why wouldn't you? And that'll take most of the force of boots or anything that's going to rub up against it and really damage it. This bike's also getting the Polysport update kit, so for the most part, once the covers are on, you're only going to have about 3 inches of actual frame that's bare and showing there, so it'll more than do its job. Also ignore my overspray here because I haven't cleaned up the front forks. So that's pretty much it. I've used the stuff several times in the past. I've used the Honda Silver. I've used the Kawasaki Green 100 dozen times, because Kawasaki didn't know how to paint frames, so they all turned to rust after a year and a half. And have been super, super pleased with it. So that's it. You can kind of see, again, I'm not just the best painter. I don't know what kind of light you're going to be able to get out of this, but you can see it goes on pretty smooth. And with just basic prep, it looks pretty good. Not bad for 20 bucks. Dirty radiator. Alright, well, there's that. So if you've been wondering about Colorrite paint and how it looks going on and how it goes on, there you go. That's what it looks like. Toodaloo.